Hello, this is James Page for INCA TV, and I'm pleased to say I'm in conversation today with Niall Halpenny from Sonolake. Niall, you have plenty of experience in the fibre market, a market that, as we've been hearing at the recent conference, has now really seen the Altnets solidify their position in the industry. But have you seen any shift of attention towards the software part of the network?
If we look back 3-4 years ago, software wasn't even mentioned. If it was a real passing, we must do that later. The focus was on build, the focus on, oh, this is an underserved area. What we've seen now is, you're approaching a critical mass at the moment of about 5.5 million homes passed by the Altnets that can be served, but we're talking about 1.4 million customers. So suddenly the questions are, we to serve these guys, and software and the software systems are now seen as the greatest contributor to allow the operators to scale. Now, where each Altnet is in that conversation varies significantly.
So presumably, while they're considering this at the moment, it's vital that they have the right software systems and really understand what purpose they serve.
If you just take a step back, software basically does one thing initially for the Altnets. It allows them to scale. So the first thing you'll hear is automation. So as you start getting tens of thousands of customers, you're issuing bills, you want to see what's happening. Try and do that manually is quite hard. Now, as you scale up, you either decide to scale on your recruitment, your training, your retaining, and you're trying to do all these tasks and against a runaway market. Software can do that at a higher quality and pace.
Would you say that, or your advice would be to Altnets who maybe are concentrating on build and deployment, that this is something that you should not put aside until later on, that this can actually help at all stages and should be something they're thinking about right now?
The biggest mistake I see is that people are putting tens and hundreds of millions into laying duct and passing homes, and they don't put the systems and processes in place. Often with a low number of customers, they feel they have it sorted because they have an small IT team that are hacking things together. But really what they're doing is putting bad practices in place that absolutely are a nightmare to unscale later on. If you're thinking of exiting the business, the value of your asset is greatly reduced if you cannot demonstrate that it can be integrated into a bigger entity. And if you want to sell to bigger scale retailers, you have all the issues like the security issues that can only be dealt with software. So if you neglect your software up front and you allow your company to grow organically with bad processes, it is a transformation nightmare. If you're an Altnet starting off, you are the envy of every established operator. You've no legacy technical debt, you're starting with a clean slate. That is where you get your biggest bang for your buck. And as you see the critical mass coming on board, it's those who've invested early are the ones who are maximizing their market position.
Thank you very much for taking the time to explain some of that to us, and wishing you the best for everyone at Sonolake for the future.
Many thanks, James.